You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, share this out. And as always, thank you guys and gals for watching our channels. Okay, so as we know, the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup is underway at this time. It's going on. I know so many of you patriotic Americans are really fired up for Megan Rapinoe and the U.S. women's national team. Oh, you're not. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I can understand because at this point, I mean, they might as well be anti-American, communist. I don't know. Can they be that? Because so many seem to be banging the tambourine of the alphabet mafia. Well, over the weekend, of course, they basically ignored our national anthem, totally disrespecting it. Bud Light is out there waving the Dylan Mulvaney pom-poms for the Megan Rapinoe and the Alphabet Squad. Now, just about a week before this World Cup started, Megan Rapinoe announced her retirement. Oh, because, oh my goodness, look at me, and my purple, green, pink hair, whatever hair she's choosing to rock these days. And immediately sat down for a Time magazine interview where she promptly sold women's sports right down that good old river. The lesbian sold out women's sports after banging the feminist drums for the last how many years? But in true Colin Kaepernick grifting fashion, she decided to switch teams. That's right. She's playing for the Transheiser-Busch squad. Is that who she's playing with? The Ku Klux Trans? That looks like who Megan Rapinoe has decided to play for. As she said, all biological men are in fact a welcome on the U.S. women's national team and welcome in the FIFA Women's World Cup, right as she's conveniently retiring and doesn't have to play against any. Keep in mind, this is a athlete along with her squad, along with the women in the WNBA, because look, they support this too, right? I'm waiting for LeBron. Come on, LeBron, to get to the end of your career and do what a lot of these guys are doing and realize if I throw on a wig, if I start playing the tambourine, I can saunter onto a WNBA court and immediately score 100 points a night. Oh, but nothing to see here. No competitive advantages, right? Yeah, we know better, see? So, Jason Whitlock, a long-time, very well-respected journalist. Of course, he is with the Blaze TV now, was with Outkick, and, of course, rose to prominence back in the non-woke ESPN days, the non-woke Fox Sports days, and he is still, I believe, on some Fox Sports affiliates out there. So he has made some rather interesting statements, or I guess I should say, he has cooked Megan Rapinoe and the WNBA and the U.S. women's soccer team in fish grease. He has come out, he has destroyed them, he's called them out for being the victims, and in Megan Rapinoe's case, I'm playing the victims so I can get paid, Colin Kaepernick style, and I'm saying that, not Jason Whitlock, but you get my point, right? Colin Kaepernick can't get a job, but he's made how much away from the field? $25 million to Virtue Signal? Man, that pays pretty good money, doesn't it? So, let's get to this, because first, Whitlock, he dropped one of these truth bombs on his Blaze TV YouTube channel, and we'll play that first, where he absolutely crushes Rapinoe. Rapinoe won that ESPN award, one of them bogus ESPN awards, a little over a week ago, and this is what Whitlock had to say about said victimhood and the fact that, you know, Megan Rapinoe's leading you to believe that her squad and her are victims of canines being sicked on them and fire hoses and all kinds of things that one is like her would lie about these days.
The sports world has completely reimagined courage in just 20 years. Last night's ESPYs were a low point for the Arthur Ashe Award. And yes, I'm well aware that ESPN previously handed the same award to a gay late-round NFL draft pick, Michael Sam, and to Bruce Jenner for changing his name, style of dress, and pronouns. This is worse. Sam and Jenner at least risk ridicule. The U.S. women's national soccer team has been the toast of the American media since Brandi Chastain stripped to her sports bra in 1999. They're the most celebrated and entitled athletes on the planet. The penalty for questioning the outright lies they tell to line their pockets is expulsion from the mainstream media. To remain in the good graces of corporate media, you're required to pretend Megan Rapinoe and company faced fire hoses, police canines, burning crosses, and lived on government cheese to win a gold medal. It's all a lie. The lie is being propagated in hopes that WNBA players are successful in executing the same scam. Despite losing millions of dollars annually, corporate media continues to argue that the tall, tatted lesbians of the WNBA are worthy of massive pay increases and private travel. Anyone noticing a pattern? The lies all seem to serve the same special interest group. Brittney Griner, Michael Sam, Caitlyn Jenner, Megan Rapinoe, William Leah Thomas, and on, all play for the alphabet mafia.
Absolutely. They all play for the alphabet mafia. But a few days passed, and Jason Whitlock was not done with Megan Rapinoe at all, not by a long shot, because he had Riley Gaines on his Blaze TV show. Again, go subscribe to Jason Whitlock's channel. His podcast is great. His television show, his YouTube channel is great, so go subscribe. This is what Whitlock further went on to say about Rapinoe. Rapinoe made news recently saying that she sees trans women as, quote, real women. And she would welcome a trans woman on the U.S. women's soccer team. Riley Gaines, the University of Kentucky swimmer who competed against William Leah Thomas, had some comments about this as well. Not only is she just a high-profile athlete, she's also someone who fought for women in sports. She fought for equal pay, equal access, equal resources, and all of those things in comparison to women's U.S. soccer team to the men's, and now she is undermining her fight entirely. Notice how earlier this week she announced her retirement, so she's done playing. This is a classic case of our virtue signaling. She wants to be seen as inclusive. But it is not inclusive of what she's fighting for. It's actually exclusive. It's exclusive to every very female athlete whose women's sporting category was created to protect. It's not kind to ask a girl to undress in front of a man in a locker room. That is the exact opposite kind. Now, Steve Kim, also another good dude on there, came out and said, I would just load up that the whole U.S. women's soccer team with trans males and we'd be unbeatable. just put nothing but biological men on the team. Sauntering out at 6'3", 220 swinging pounds. Just onto the soccer field and watch these other women in these other countries just like, what, walk off the field? Maybe that's what it's going to take to end this madness. Our men's team is never going to win. Let's just load up the whole women's team with a bunch of transformers. We will blank the teams 10-0. We'll be a dynasty. Is that what she really wants? I find Meg Rapinoe to be contemptible. It's even worse that we give her a platform. We're supposed to pretend to take her seriously. She's not a serious person. She just isn't. It bothers me that we give her a platform and give her a megaphone to even say this stuff. Yeah, but let's be real. It's not like we're giving her the same platform that ESPN is giving her or any of these other places. Because these other places like Time Magazine, There were all kinds of rebuttal questions that they could have come back with when she said, hey, let's let men play for the women's team. They didn't do that. They just sapped it up. They just biscuit and gravy, sopped that up, and just ate it with absolutely no pushback. It's irresponsible journalism. We all know it. I'm going to think here and summarize Megan Rapinoe just as honestly and coldly as I can. She's an attention whore. End of story. She says these things for attention. That's it. She's not the only one. Men are attention whores as well, but that's all this is. She's on her way out. She's not newsworthy as she used to be. Everybody's kind of over her, and here's a way I can get my name in the news cycle. She's addicted to attention, and we keep giving it to her, so she'll keep saying stupid things. You know, I truly believe that, and I've said this is a grift for her. She knows I can say all this stuff, and guess what? Time Magazine comes calling. ESPN gives her this brave, stunning, and courageous award for what? We're still not sure. And she will maintain. She will be in the news cycle. My God, we still make a Colin Kaepernick video every month because that fool will say something just as ignorant as it possibly can be. Just when you think people can't be more woke, here they are. I think it's hilarious that Jason Whitlock threw the WNBA and Brittney Griner in this because that's what he did. He brought up private travel. Well, that was an issue for her, remember? And of course, the Alex Stein thing, it was ridiculous. But even the WNBA, they still believe, we should be paid like men, even though the NBA subsidizes our entire league. It's ridiculous. Wokeness is the weirdest thing. Because I've said before, and I'll say it again, these companies have become completely comfortable with not maximizing their incomes. And they've become completely comfortable with not making as much money as humanly possible. Wasn't that once the goal of actual businesses? But then again, when your corporation's termed communist, well, I mean, even businesses start turning a nose up to capitalism. What? Don't believe me? Ask Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney in that ad campaign. For crying out loud. It's ridiculous. We're willing to lose money over a virtue signal. It's insane. I always appreciate Jason Whitlock, and I've been listening to him for I'm going on 20 years, I would guess at this point, and I heard this initial rant he did about Megan Rapinoe winning the ESPN award. And yeah, I mean, the WNBA, Brittney Griner, Megan Rapinoe, U.S. women's soccer team, they would lead you to believe that this truly is akin to black people trying to get their rights 70 and 80 years ago and being fire-hosed in the streets. We know it's nothing of the sort. And in fact, the fact that they act like it's such an insult to the true horrors and terrors that those people went through at that time. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Anytime I find something like this from somebody I actually have respect for, one of the few guys left in any media, I'm going to try to share it. I am. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.